Hey everybody, and welcome back to another SAC Reviews. Today we are looking at Deep Rock Survivor for the PC, from developers Funday Games and a spin-off to one of my personal favourite games, Deep Rock Galactic. Now, Deep Rock Galactic is a game I can always play. I've sunk several hundred hours into it and I just never get bored of it. It's a game that's always there for me on a rainy day, and I didn't actually even know Survivor was going to be a thing until it dropped. So I was caught completely off guard by this one, and I was really excited to see what Survivor had to offer, and I'm enjoying it. It's different to the sort of games I'd usually play, but familiar enough that I'm not too far out of my comfort zone. Deep Rock Survivor is a top-down auto-shooter, and full disclosure, this top-down shoot-'em-up style isn't usually my sort of thing, but being a fan of Galactic, I just had to try it out. And despite both games being clearly different from each other, I couldn't help but once again be taken in by all its space dwarven charm. All it takes is a rock and stone, and I'm going on another suicide mission for Carl. You've got the same four classes: Scout, Gunner, Engineer and Driller. 3 biomes to play in: Crystalline Caverns, Magma Core and Hollow Bow, with 5 levels of hazard to unlock by completing various tasks within the levels, whether it's getting a certain class to a certain level, mining X amount of a particular resource, all sorts of goals to work towards for your next level of difficulty. Now, Deep Rock Survivor is a difficult game. Galactic was made as a multiplayer game, but was manageable solo, on the hazard levels 1 to 3 for me, 3 being if I was in my zone. Survivor, on the other hand, even on the Hazard 1 maps, this game is a challenge, so I can't imagine what the Hazard 5 maps are like. Maybe it's because I don't normally play these auto shoot-'em-up games, but I was really taken back by just how difficult it was. It does get easier the more you play and level up your base stats, and start unlocking things like your weapon overclocks, but even then, a lot of whether or not you're going to even win your run boils down to RNG on what upgrades you get. Are you going to keep getting the rare and epic drops that cater towards the build you're going for? Or are you just going to keep getting common upgrades and things that aren't progressing your DPS as fast as the hordes grow? It's a different genre and game, but I'd almost compare it to a more traditional roguelike, like Hades, where if there were certain weapon upgrades or modifiers that dropped during a run, I knew it was mine. But when RNGesus isn't playing ball, it's a struggle to survive, and a struggle that often ends in death. While I don't think it's going to happen, something I think Survivor would massively benefit from is giving Bosco more of a purpose. I mean, yeah, he's here in Survivor, but realistically, he may as well not be. He'll fire at enemies here and there at the start of a round, but honestly, within a minute or two there's so many enemies on screen, sometimes you struggle to even see if he's still there, and when you do see him, he isn't even doing anything. When the hordes grow as fast as they do, it becomes a real struggle mining resources for the between round and permanent upgrades, gathering the bonus objective collectibles, and pretty much doing anything other than running in a circle just trying to survive, which is where Bosco could come in. One of the things that made solo play in Galactic more manageable was the things he could do, like being able to revive you a couple of times, being able to mine resources for you. If we're going to be doing these missions as Mission Control likes to keep reminding us,
you'll be on your own in there.
It would just be nice if Bosco did a bit more. You could easily make him another part of the permanent skill tree, and with money and resources buff him for later runs, be that through bonuses like a single revive, dealing more damage, or having him slowly mine minerals for us. But in his current state, he just feels pointless, and also feels like something that's missing from that core Galactic solo play experience. Now, I don't think the core Galactic solo play experience is what this game's going for. It's not what this genre's about. That's just me as a Deep Rock Galactic fan, but what this game does, it works for what it is. That's just my personal opinion on what I would do to improve this as a Deep Rock Galactic game. Anyway, moving on, this game is currently in early access and has an incredibly cheap price attached to it, but there really isn't a lot of content to sink your teeth into just yet. Once you've unlocked all 4 classes and all 3 maps, which shouldn't take you more than 2 or 3 hours, you've essentially seen all the game has to offer for you right now. All that's left to do is play out the same missions with increased difficulty, slowly levelling and buffing your character and finding what build works best for you. As I said, it's early access and has a very humble price tag of $9.99, so the minimal content is to be expected, but this is also something I'm sure will grow in time as the game gets updated. But what content is here is good, and most importantly it's fun. The gameplay loop is addictive. It's simple enough that anyone can learn how to play it, but hard enough that you can't just turn your brain off and win. It's a graphical upgrade from Galactic, but it keeps its low poly charm. It's the sort of game you can jump into quickly if you're pushed for time and don't know what to play, but simultaneously one you can sit down for hours with, experimenting with different builds, farming resources and taking on new challenges. All in all, Deep Rock Survivor is a simple, fun, but short and challenging time. It feels good, it looks good, has a cheap price tag, and like Galactic, has huge potential for more content in the future. Even with my gripes, I'd recommend you give this game a go. I'm going to give Deep Rock Survivor a 4 out of 5. Have you played Deep Rock Survivor yet? If so, what do you think of it? Let us know in the comments below, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.
Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not going to hang around.